I was traveling with one backpack and I was eating at 7-Elevens, I was sleeping in hostels, I was sleeping in buses to save on hostels and not taking the bullet train. Looking back at it, maybe I was going a little bit overboard, but I do want to share kind of these details because I think they were kind of an important factor in this trip. The trip was a little bit rough, for sure. This was the first time I've ever fully traveled alone. I've been to other countries and states and stuff like that, but I've always kind of known someone there or had a group of people with me. This was my first actual solo trip. Japan was absolutely stunning. Almost everywhere I looked was like magical scene. It's beautiful in a kind of a artistic way. I noticed the people were almost too respectful there. They don't even look at you in the eyes out of respect. And that made me feel just so disconnected from everyone. In the last few days of this trip, I actually started feeling the weight of the culture on the people and a little bit on myself. It's a very, very collective society. That's a big part of a lot of amazing things that happen in Japan. But it also equally weighs so heavy on so many people there. There's a massive societal pressure, and they have a massive emphasis on honor and tradition. Japan also has a very isolated culture. They've been separated from the world for a very long time. The sea or the ocean actually represents isolation in Japanese culture. They're an island that was able to kind of evolve in a separate way from the whole world, and it's very different how they see the world than how we see the world. Language and culture can have a massive impact on your reality, and I talk a little bit about reality if you want to check that out in this video right here. And of course, there's so many things I still have yet to understand about the culture, but there are things that I can feel and see as a human. I started feeling that weight of the culture. I started feeling the pressure of society on these people and on myself a little bit. And for the first time in my life, I was able to understand why someone would consider taking their own life away. Almost 20,000 people every single year in Japan decide to actually take their own lives. That to them is easier than bearing the pain and the pressure of their life and the society. Japan's population has been in a steady decline since the economic boom of 1980. Japanese people were some of the nicest people I've ever encountered anywhere in the world. The general way they look at each other is we're all part of one. We're all in this together. And I think that's kind of the natural way for humans to live. But when the society is collective, anything that's kind of bad is amplified and strengthened and multiplied kind of by everyone. And each person feels that pressure, and it can be really, really heavy. And I don't know where the sweet spot is between being traditionalist and feeling empty and not proud of anything, and also having a tradition that feels so heavily on you that you would rather just not be alive anymore. And I'm not going to be the one to sit here and answer that, but there are some objective truths and some things to be appreciated in each type of society, and it's important to see both. Japan has been a massive part of who I am. I did grow up watching like Studio Ghibli movies and Naruto, and I think that impacted me in so many ways that I probably don't even know. And these shows inspired my passions, my friendships, and I can't even begin to explain how these close friendships have shaped who I am right now. It's not even a stretch to say that if I did not go to Japan, maybe I wouldn't even be a photographer. And photography has impacted my life also in several ways. It made me a more happy person, and it kind of made me a more successful person. And if you want to be a better photographer, you should also check out this video.